coming from economists with the Trump administration says that the American people are at a point of rebellion. They're getting worried now, and we're starting to see mayors and governors across the United States of America concerned that there will be an uprising from the people. The people, you and me, who no longer can afford a home and paid off within a considerable amount of time, who can no longer afford a vehicle. All we can do is rent for the rest of our lives, not because you're not paying a mortgage, but because you'll be paying on it for 30 years of your life, renting it for 30 years until you call it your own, and then paying on taxes for the rest of your life. They're afraid that there is going to be a general uprising, and we're starting to see gun owners across the United States make some very, very scary claims. We're starting to see the firearms shops, the gun stores, saying that the people that are coming in are describing exactly how the American people see the government, that it is a tyranny. And against that tyranny, the American people should be ready. Now, that is very concerning because that means during a time of turmoil or instructed chaos, as it could be, we will start to see an uprising that is very close to a civil war, if not an all-out civil war. That means that you and your family are going to need to be locking yourselves down into an area of protection and defense for a who knows how long. 5 days, 6 days, 6 weeks. It's expected among military strategists that a civil war inside the country would last 2.5 to 2.75 years. That means that the worst of it will come after the first couple of days. You'll probably have 6 months of very, very steep violence, a very large and chaotic event in which going to the store no longer happens. Every trip is like a mission. Every communication is one that is fraught with danger. Now, after that 6-month period, you start to have a certain number of people who no longer want the bloodshed. They've already lost their friends, their families, their loved ones, their church people, their pastors, whoever it might be, and they just want it to stop. They themselves get out of the fight, but then they have to choose sides. Who are they going to let stay in their apartment complex? Who are they going to let communicate through their channels? And in that, you have about a 2-year-long event, a duration event. And so during that period, everything that you do is going to be very, very scary. So you and your family really need to get on top of how you're going to act and react during those first couple of days, and then what you're going to do for the next couple of months, and then the next couple of years. Part of that is being ahead, starting ahead. You see, you know the old saying, it takes money to make money. Right? And that makes sense. If you have money already, you can invest, you have a little bit of a buffer or a wildfire zone, and then you can choose and make good choices, win the lottery, so to say, and then make money with that money. The same way that it takes bullets to have bullets, it takes food stores to have food stores, it takes survival today to have survival tomorrow. And so you need to start thinking about putting away some extra food today, putting away some extra kinetic projectile tools today, putting away some extra Band-Aids and the medicine that you might need, over-the-counter medicine especially, thinking about the natural remedies that will be used in place of chemical pharmaceuticals when there's absolutely no access to it. Now, there's a lot of great things out there, and actually I have a
Shalom, shalom. Elect to the nation of Israel. It's your brother Qadar Shahan here coming at you with a real quick lesson. First things first, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakwadash, which in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew tongue is the correct name of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit. I'd like to give double honors to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which I learned this truth. I want to send sincere salutations to the brothers pushing this truth all across the four winds in truth and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the Akim and Akwaf who's listening, learning, and studying to show they self-approve. Shalom. Today, we're going to get into a real quick lesson centered around this opening video that you just seen, and everything that this Edomite just said was pretty much spot on. Pretty much spot on, man. See, the times we're living in is like a powder keg, and everybody is divided, which is going to cause, which can cause and is going to cause a civil war or civil unrest. And the government is divided against the government. The people is divided against the government. Esau was divided against Esau, Jake divided against Jake, and that recipe right there is a recipe for chaos, man. It's a recipe for bloodshed and civil war. And we're living in times where we're in prophecy, and the Lord is letting these prophecies like just ring out like an AK-47 right back to back after right one after another, man. We're living in the times where we're seeing everything being fulfilled. And like I said in previous lesson, I was like, that's a scary time, but it's yet also beautiful because after that is the kingdom of heaven, man. But what he was saying brought like so many precepts together, man. So many precepts. And I'm gonna start with this one here in Luke 11 and 17, and it reads, "But he knowing their thoughts and said to them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every house against every house." So like it says so, to desolation, and a house divided against a house felleth. And that's pretty much exactly what he said. He was like, "Hey, you gotta what did he say? He said you gotta know, you and your family gotta know who's gonna come into the house and who's this and who's that." See, the Lord said these things already, and houses are gonna be fighting against each other, not kicking people out and not knowing who's with who and everything like that. And you can find that in Luke 12. We can go to Luke 12 and 51, and it reads, "Suppose ye that I am come to bring peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division." The Lord is about to bring division, man. And for for from henceforth there shall be five in one house divided, three against two, and two against three. So hey, we living in that time of division, and that's gonna be civil war. That's a mix for civil war right there, man. And that's a mix for chaos, man. Let's get Isaiah real quick. You know, I'm gonna run through these precepts that came to mind as this dude was speaking. Let's get Isaiah. Where is it? I think 19. Yeah, Isaiah 19 and 2. It might be 1. No, it's 2. And it says, see if I want to start up. Yeah, that's 2. It says, "And I will set Egyptian against Egyptian." That's a civil war right there, man. It says, "And they shall fight one another against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst therefore, and I will destroy the counsels therefore, and they shall seek to their idols and to their charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards." And that's not gonna work, because the Lord said He's gonna take all that away, all that stuff Esau Edom used to do, pray to their demons and wizards and familiar spirits. That's not gonna work because the Lord controls everything. The Lord's gonna shut that off, and everything's gonna go to hell and go to chaos. And it says, but the main point, I will set Egyptian against Egyptian, and they shall fight they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. That's the point, man. We're living in these times where, hey, this can happen. And he was talking to his people, his insiders, and they said they see this ramping up. This is like inevitable thing that's going to happen. So you gotta stay prayed up and make sure that hey, you in good graces with the Lord, and He's gonna protect you in these times. Let's get a classic Luke 21. Let's get Luke 21 classic, Luke 21 and 10, and it reads, "Then said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." The Lord said it twice. He said it in the Old Testament. He said it in the New Testament. He actually said it more because Matthew got an account of this, and Mark. And it says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, famines, pestilence, fearful sights, and great signs shall be there before heaven, man. And we're seeing these things. We're seeing these things, and we're about to see nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. World War III and Civil War at the same time, man. Or around the same time. And let's grab a more vivid one. Let's go to Second Esdras 15, and I'm gonna start at 14, cause this one like nails it spot on, and it says Second Esdras 15 and 14, and it reads, "Woe unto the world and them that dwell therein." So it's gonna be a scary time in the world. It says, and this is Esdras speaking. It says, "For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. People shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands." And the new modern day age sword is a gun. It says, "For there shall be sedition amongst men." That means everybody's going to be going against each other. Sedition amongst men, invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes. They're not going to care what their presidents say. They politicians, they governors. They're not going to care. They're just going to take their power into their own hands, and they're probably going to be coming after the governors and presidents and things of that nature. It says, "And they shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able," because it's going to be crazy. People, at, it's going to be a point where you're going to take a chance on even coming out of the house. And you can step a foot out the house and get your head blown off. So people going to be wanting to meet up with their family and get out of the chaos, and they're going to try to do that and get mowed down. Roadblocks set up. Well, yeah. Where are you from? Who are you? Who you with? And that's going to happen. Verse 18, and it says, "For because of the pride of the cities," it says, "For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Like I said, it's going to be a scary time. It says, "A man shall have no pity on his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation." And those preppers where he said you should get some food and this and that and this, and make sure you got this. Yeah, so it's gonna be haves and have nots. So people gonna be like, "Oh yeah, these people haven't came out of the house, and I know they got some food in there. Let's go in there and see what they got." And it's gonna be crazy. So you're gonna have to have the Lord to protect you from all of this, man. And this guy on the TV, I mean on the screen, he said you're gonna have to find a spot to find and lock yourself up in a spot to where you will be safe. Ain't no spot that you can lock yourself up at that the Lord can't touch you, man. Only spot is under the shadows of Him, like it says in Psalms 91. Matter of fact, let's get Proverbs, because this is the only place where you're gonna be safe. Let's get Proverb. Only place you're gonna be safe is right here. Proverb 18 and 10. Salaki. 18 and 10. And it reads, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and it's safe." So the righteous is going to call on the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and they going to be safe. But what else? It says, "The rich man's wealth is his strength, sitting in a high wall in his own." Yeah, let me read that again. It says, "The rich man's wealth is his strong city and his high wall and his own conceit." So he gonna get taken by his crap. He gonna get taken by his own wealth, man. Because the scriptures also says, wealth is gonna. It says your wealth can't save you in the day of wrath, man. It says your gold and silver is cankered. Ain't nobody gonna be caring about money when all hell break loose. They gonna be caring about surviving, and that's food, man. They're gonna be looking for food and warmth. So, hey, you gotta call on the Lord, and but it is a good thing though to like if you have money, like before all hell break loose, cause if you like he said, if you got money, you can kind of put up a buffer, and that's biblical also. Your money ain't gonna save you, but hey, if you have money, you can like take the sting off a little. You ain't just gonna be right there in the chaos. It's gonna be like a little buffer between you and chaos for a second. But you gotta have the Lord with you though, and you can find that in Ecclesiastes, and that is 7 and 12. See, wisdom is gonna save you, man. Wisdom is gonna be your defense, but money can be a defense also, and that's what it's going into. Ecclesiastes 7 and 12, and it reads, "For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it," man. So wisdom is only the only thing that's gonna save your life, and it's not gonna be wisdom of the stock market or wisdom of Esau. It's gonna be wisdom of these scriptures, man. Wisdom of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. What it says, wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, because the scripture said, "Wisdom, understanding, and knowledge shall be the stability of your times," and that's the times that we're coming into. So if you have a little money, be wise with your money and use it as a defense. And then the Lord is going to take you the rest of the way whenever their money run out or everything that you bought with that money for defense run out. You're going to have the wisdom of the Lord to protect you the rest of the way, man. But the whole thing is you got to be like King David in this situation. And King David was a praying machine. You got to stay prayed up, man. Stay prayed up, because, hey, we're coming into them times where all hell is about to break loose. And even your own family can be turning against you. But, hey, what this dude said was straight biblical. And we're coming into those times. So stay prayed up, stay repenting, and we almost out of here. Call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Bahashim Rakakwadash. Kwam Yasharala Wa Baba Shalom.